Fiona.
Thanks. So you called the budget a bread and butter budget, but with non-discretionary items rising faster than CPI indexation, welfare recipients like myself are meant to be grateful for that rise. What essentials should I be cutting from my budget?
Yeah, well, thank you, Fiona, for your question. And this goes to what is the biggest challenge in our economy and in our communities, in our society right now, which is that the cost of living are going through the roof. And that has a disproportionate impact on the most vulnerable amongst us, and we understand that. The budget, in so many different ways that I handed down in Canberra 9 nights ago, was about this challenge. And it had within it, as you, I think, are alluding to in your question, Fiona, billions of dollars of extra payments which come from the automatic indexation. I'm not for a moment claiming credit for that, but that is an important feature and function of our budget, that when inflation is growing as it is right now, then payments twice a year try to at least keep up with that. And I know that's not always enough. I know that's often not enough, but that's an important feature of the budget. My responsibility to you, Fiona, and to really the whole country is to try and take the right economic decisions at a national level in the context of all of this inflation to make sure that we're not making inflation worse, and if anything, we're investing in the sorts of things that make it easier for people. And in the context of a budget which has $1 trillion of debt and it's in deficit as far as the eye can see, then we've got to try and work out how do we provide that cost of living relief in a responsible way. And by responsible, I mean how do we provide money to people without making the inflation problem worse, which is really my major concern. And so we've got some cost of living relief in there for the cost of medicines, the cost of childcare, paid parental leave, housing affordability, and we've got a policy to get wages growing again. And I understand and I can feel...
And the question was, Treasurer, and I might just go back to you, Fiona, on this.
Yeah.
You're having to make real decisions. The Treasurer is talking about projections. He's talking about measures that are going to come in over the coming years. But in your situation right now, what are you having to decide?
Well, it's things like healthcare. I mean, I had an eye test the other day and I have to go for a further scan. So the cost of that I then have to take from, say, the next doctor's appointment that I had booked. I'll have to push that back again because my GP doesn't bulk bill anymore and things like that. And the DSP will go up with inflation, yes, but still playing catch up and it's still falling behind. And
the reality is, Treasurer, that you said in the budget, it is people like Fiona, people who are indebted or people who are struggling, who are going to have to bear the burden of this war against inflation. When does this turn around for someone like Fiona?
Well, again, the best thing that we can do is to try and address the root cause of this problem, which is the inflation, and that's what the budget was about. In addition to that, and even in the context of a budget which was quite restrained in its spending, still big investments in Medicare, still the indexation of those payments, doing what we can, what we responsibly can to make life a little bit easier for people. But I don't want to pretend to Fiona or to anyone in Fiona's position that the budget 9 nights ago fixed all of these challenges. And I do need to be upfront with all of you about the nature of this challenge that we are confronting right now. And we will do what we can, but we need to do what we can in the context of only promising what we can afford and trying to work out what our best contribution to this problem is. And our best contribution to this is being restrained in our spending, giving some cost of living relief where it's responsible, and investing in the sorts of things that will get us out of this.
But if inflation is public enemy number one, this is, as you've said, it's the dragon you have to slay. It is people like Fiona. It is people on the front line of this who are going to feel the heat.
Yeah,
because anything that helps them fuels inflation. This is the bind you're in.
Yeah.
Can you truly tell us where inflation will peak out? You projected at 7.75% in the budget. That's gone. The Reserve Bank is now talking about 8%. Internationally, it'll top 9%. You can't really sit here and tell people where this will top out, can you?
Well, nobody has a perfect crystal ball, but the expectations of the Reserve Bank and the Treasury is that this inflation challenge will get a bit worse until the end of the year and
Which
then
means
start
interest
to
rates keep
moderate.
going up, doesn't it?
Well, the Reserve Bank themselves have said that they expect interest rates to go up a bit further. They take those decisions independently. I don't preempt or second guess those. But I take responsibility for my part in this as the country's treasurer. I think for too long we've had people in roles like mine who pretend that they have nothing to do with it, right? I accept responsibility in the budgets that I put together. And the main thing I can do here, the worst thing that could happen for Fiona and for people around Australia is if we let this inflation get out of control. And you summed it up really well, Stan, a moment ago. If you are not careful with your spending, if you are somehow ill-disciplined, then we would have this inflation problem worse for longer. And that's what I'm trying to avoid.
Of course, Fiona, when it comes to your own personal spending, where do you sit each week after you've paid the essentials?
Pension day tomorrow, so actually do have $20 in because it came in for some reason late today.
$20?
$20 in my bank account at the moment for pension day tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, we're working week to week very much and shuffling and.
Good luck. It's a common story. Thank you for bringing
Thanks, Fiona.
that story and that question. There are plenty of people finding it